You know that feeling, that slow, kind of emotional erosion where you just feel drained, maybe a little lost because the lines have gotten so blurry? It's a really painful place to be, but it's super common, and it's exactly where we're going to start our journey today.
I mean, this probably hits home, right? It's that smile you put on when you're seething inside. It's the yes that you just knew should have been a no. It's when you give and give until you're left feeling totally empty instead of fulfilled. That's the quiet cost of not having clear boundaries. It's like this slow leak of your energy, your integrity, everything.
So why is it so incredibly hard to set boundaries? Well, a huge part of the problem is this myth we've all been sold. We've been taught to think of them as these negative things, right? Like they're walls that we build just to keep people out and push them away.
And when you think of it that way, I mean, of course it feels awful. It feels like you're building a fortress around yourself and pulling up the drawbridge on everyone you care about. It feels cold, it feels rigid, and yeah, it can feel really, really selfish. But here's the thing, that entire way of thinking, it's holding us back.
But what if? What if we've been looking at this whole thing completely backwards? What if it's not about building fortresses to keep people out? What if it's actually about being the architect of your own life, designing structures that support you instead of ones that isolate you?
Okay, so this brings us to a way more powerful way to think about this. Let's just stop thinking about walls that are meant to exclude people, and let's start thinking about boundaries as bridges. Yeah, bridges. Structures that are literally designed to help us connect with people safely, and in a way that we can actually sustain.
Just think about the shift in energy there. A wall basically screams, stay out, you can't pass. But a bridge? A bridge says, hey, here's the path, here's how we can meet in the middle. One creates distance, the other provides total clarity. One feels selfish, but the other actually builds trust.
And to take that metaphor a little deeper, think of a boundary as the railing on that bridge. It's the very thing that makes you feel safe enough to even cross it. It's that clear, defined path that stops resentment from creeping in, from that fog of unspoken expectations. It's designed to be strong.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because setting a limit can actually expand your connections, not shrink them. See, when you can give a firm but respectful no, you're not slamming a door in someone's face. What you're really doing is creating authentic space. And it's only from that honest space that you can give a yes that's real, that's wholehearted, and that you truly mean. So this all leads to a really core idea. You are the architect of your own energy. Think about it. Your time, your focus, your emotional capacity, none of it is infinite. It's precious, it's limited, and it's the fuel for every single connection you have in your life.
I mean, let's be real. We only have so much to give in any given day. If you're constantly drained because you've said yes to everything, what kind of presence can you actually offer to the people you love? The goal isn't to somehow find unlimited energy, it's to be smart and intentional about how you invest the energy you do have.
And let's be crystal clear about something. Setting a boundary is not about controlling other people. That's a huge misconception. It's about managing yourself. It's about protecting your own well-being. At the end of the day, you are the only guardian of your inner world. So really, every boundary is a design choice. You're consciously deciding, I'm going to channel my energy into conversations that actually lift me up. You're designing your time to include rest and recovery, not just constant work. And you're building your relationships on a foundation of mutual respect, making it a requirement, not just a nice to have.
All right, so we've talked a lot about the big ideas here. But now, let's make this real. It's time to go from theory to action and actually start designing your first bridge.
So take a second and really think about it. Is there one area in your life, maybe at work, maybe with a family member or a friend, that just feels draining or resentful? Just pinpoint that one spot. Okay, now ask yourself, what would a bridge look like right here in this specific situation?
And listen, this doesn't have to be some massive, complicated construction project. A bridge can be really simple. It could be as easy as saying, hey, I can't take work calls after 8 p.m. because I need that time to recharge. Or maybe it's an internal rule you set for yourself, like, I'm not going to jump in and solve everyone's problems unless they actually ask me to. It could even just be one strategic no that frees you up to give a full, enthusiastic yes to something you really care about.
The most important thing to remember is that this whole process starts with just noticing. The simple act of being aware of where you feel that drain, that's the first step. Just by identifying where that erosion is happening, you've already laid the foundation. Awareness is where it all begins.
Because ultimately, that's what this is all about. Your boundaries aren't selfish walls.
They are the absolute foundation of your integrity. They're the bridges, the strong, clear bridges that lead to more real, more authentic connections with everyone in your life.
So that leaves us with one last question, a question for you. You have the idea, you have the tools, what's the first bridge you're going to design?